quarantined. Hello, I'm Hot Toddy, and welcome to an all-new episode of Get Real. Before we get started with this week's episode, I need to do a quick shout out to SW and IM. They are a clothing making company on Amazon, and they are responsible for the merch that I'm wearing on my head. Look at this beautiful hat with the Get Real logo plastered on it. It's absolutely beautiful. I've done work with them in the past. They've also made for me a Smokin' Hot Toddcast hat, which you may have seen me wear on the Smokin' Hot Toddcast Live. And they've also made a Smells Like 90s Rock hat. So, I mean, they go all out. They go above and beyond. They do fantastic work. So look up SW and IM on Amazon. They don't do embroidery work, but they use this fantastic sticker-like material. I don't even know what you call it, but as you can see, they get the logo right every single time. I honestly was afraid that the Get Real logo wouldn't work out too well, but it worked out fantastically, and look at it. Look how beautiful it is. Look at this. Look at the craftsmanship on this hat, man. It's fantastic. Alright, well, enough of that. Great job to SW and IM, but let's get to the point of this week's episode. This week, I will be reviewing a favorite film of mine that came out this year called Impractical Jokers, the movie. I was really excited about this film coming out, and it was essentially what I expected. And it shouldn't come to any surprise to you that I was excited about the film. Just take a look at my shirt. Of course, it says Impractical Jokers, has all the Jokers on it. And if you can just take a look behind me at some of the stuff that I have on my walls here in the Hot Toddy Media Room, you know that I'm a pretty big fan of the Impractical Jokers. So, naturally, I was pretty excited about this film, and I love it. It was a great film. But it's not easy to review a film like Impractical Jokers, the movie, because you see, it's a movie based on a variety show. And really, the only kind of review that you can do for a movie that's based on a variety show is that if you've seen even one of the episodes of said show, then you know what happens in the movie. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching! No, but in all seriousness, there's more to say. But I mean, that is the general gist of what the review is going to be. Variety shows normally don't get movies made about them, so when they do, and that rarity happens, it pretty much is made solely for the fans. That's basically how this works. If a movie is made for a variety show, it's for the fans only, and anybody else who's interested in it most likely gets dragged to the theater because their friend or their spouse is interested in it, and they're just not, but they're just there for the fun. So that's kind of where the money for these movies, when they make money, comes from. They come from the fact that the fans are devoted, and they'll drag people that may have never even seen the show to the movie as well. And so that's why it's rare for a variety show to get a film made about it. Now, that's not true of all films based on television shows. Movies that are based on sitcoms, dramas, action shows, they usually have their own establishment that appeals to a wide audience. A great example of that is the Mission Impossible movies. And the best example of the Mission Impossible movies is the first one. Now, if you're familiar with the Mission Impossible TV show, it's centered mostly around this secret agent named Jim Phelps, who on the show was played by Peter Graves, and how he leads the IMF, the Impossible Missions Force, and they solve mysteries, and they end up, saving the world, or solve mysteries. I don't know. They're secret agents. They stop crime. They save the world. I don't know. They do Mission Impossible stuff, okay? So Jim Phelps and his team always saves the day on the TV show. Now, fast forward to the Mission Impossible movie that came out in 1996. Jim Phelps is now played by Jon Voight, and this is a movie that subverts your expectations. Ironically enough, it wasn't directed by Rian Johnson. But no, it subverts your expectations because I think a lot of people thought when they heard of the Mission Impossible movie coming to theaters, they thought, oh good, Jim Phelps out to save the day again with his team. Not the case in the film. No, Jon Voight now plays Jim Phelps, and he, along with his team, get killed.
My team is dead!
At the beginning of the movie, they all get wiped out.
My team is dead!
Except for one member of the team Ethan Hunt, played by Tom Cruise.
Dead!
Fast forward to the end of the film, spoilers if you've never seen it, but Jim Phelps actually survived, and Ethan Hunt puts everything together and finds out that this is what Phelps wanted. He was trying to kill off his entire team. He was trying to kill off everybody so that he could get whatever. I don't even remember what the plot of the first movie was, but he was the bad guy. The bottom line is he was the bad guy. He ends up killing his wife and everything. It's pretty horrible. And so Jon Voight, as Jim Phelps, turns out to be a double agent and becomes the bad guy in the Mission Impossible movie. He gets killed off, and Ethan Hunt is now the new hero of Mission Impossible, even though on the television show we knew the hero is Jim Phelps. So that's a really great example of subverting expectations. And creating a new world, a new establishment that would appeal to many audiences. I've watched maybe a handful of Mission Impossible TV show episodes, but I've seen all the Mission Impossible movies, and they're a rare franchise that gets better with every sequel. So that's the point I'm trying to make, is that you can create a whole new world, not quoting Aladdin, with movies for certain television shows, but variety shows is a little bit different. Another great example of a TV show that subverted expectations and piqued a different audience in the theater. I know it's a weird kind of example, but I love it. It's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Now, if you're my age, you grew up with Power Rangers. Sorry about that. And if you were like me, you loved the TV show. You absolutely adored it. But the thing about the television show is it followed a very specific formula on every episode. Lord Zed, or Rita Repulsa, or Lord Zed and Rita Repulsa would come up with a new monster that they were sure was going to destroy the Power Rangers. Then they would send it down to Earth. Cut to Zordon and Alpha in the command center finding out about the monster. And then they inform the Rangers. The Rangers go off and fight the monster. They destroy the monster. End of episode. And that was the way it was for almost every single episode. But the movie subverted those expectations. So you cut to the movie, right? The movie starts out very similar. Lord Zed and Rita stumble upon a monster that they are sure will destroy the Power Rangers. Little did they know that they had stumbled upon the most fearsome monster in the galaxy, the most powerful monster in the entire galaxy, because not only did he destroy the Power Rangers, but he destroys Zordon as well. You know, in the television series, the Power Rangers and Zordon and Alpha, they're made to look like that nothing could ever take them down. Powers that be might threaten their power, may threaten their ways of life, but they will never be taken down, right? And especially Zordon. I mean, is it even brought up in the television show to try to kill Zordon?
I will never let you get away with this.
Save your breath, Zordon! I'm giving the commands around here.
I don't think that's ever brought up. I don't think that was ever brought up on the television show.
I will never let you get away with this.
Save your breath, Zordon! I'm giving the commands around here.
Comment below if it was ever brought up on the TV show. I don't think it was.
I will never let you get away with this.
Save your breath, Zordon! I'm giving the commands around here.
It was always about killing the Power Rangers. So Zordon was sort of like this elusive, amazing power, this amazing force that can never be taken down.
I'm giving the commands around here.
But in the movie, this monster, Ivan Ooze, goes to the command center and kills Zordon, and he destroys the command center, which of course destroys the power of the Power Rangers. And before he dies, Zordon's like, Zordon on the TV show, he's like this beacon of hope. He's like, as long as we have these Power Rangers, these young people who are ready to fight and ready to take down evil at every turn, we will be safe. In the movie, he's like, fuck off, okay? Look, the evil has won. They got us. It's over. Go away. Go live your life. It's done. We never heard Zordon talk like that. So even though that movie was still aimed at kids and it was getting the kids, love, it got interesting. The movie wasn't just a parody of the TV show. It wasn't just a carbon copy of it. it was a real movie that tugged at your heartstrings. Like, oh my god, evil got to Zordon. They destroyed the Power Rangers. They had to go to another planet to find new power. So, I mean, again, getting back to the whole point of this is that you can do interesting things with sitcoms, with dramas, with action shows. You could do interesting things like that that could subvert your expectations. Not the case with variety shows. Variety shows is you get what you get, you know? And that's basically the review of this movie, of Impractical Jokers, the movie, is that if you have seen an episode, even one episode of Impractical Jokers, you know what to expect in the movie. They do practical jokes on people, hidden camera practical jokes, only this time they do it in movie form. Another great example, well, this is an example of variety shows being turned into movies. A great example of this is another one of my favorite movies, which is based on another one of my all-time favorite television shows, Mystery Science Theater 3000. And of course I'm talking about Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie. I have a poster of it right over here, of course. Why wouldn't I in this room? Of course I have everything. But anyway, yeah, that's another movie that is based on a variety TV show. So if you've seen even one episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000, you know what to expect in Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie. They watch a bad movie and they make fun of it. That's the way it rolls. But I'm not complaining because I'm a fan. And I'm a fan of Practical Jokers, so therefore I'm a fan of the movie. So that gets back to my original point, that if you are a fan of Impractical Jokers, you're gonna love the movie. And so that's pretty much how it rolls. Now, there is a bit of a plot to Impractical Jokers, the movie, which is not even, there really wasn't even a plot in Mystery Science Theater, the movie. It was just another normal day in their lives where they go watch a movie. But Impractical Jokers, the movie, it starts out with the boys, Q, Sal, Joe, and Murr. They're in high school, and this takes place in 1992, and they go to a Paula Abdul concert, and they ruin the Paula Abdul concert. Shenanigans happen, and they ruin Paula Abdul's concert. Very random, I know. Cut to present day. They're now eating at a restaurant after just wrapping up a day of shooting in Practical Jokers, and they run into Paula Abdul. And she is a fan of the Jokers, not realizing that they were the four guys that ruined her concert on Staten Island, where they're from, back in 1992. So she invites them down to a big concert celebration in Florida, obviously long before COVID, so they say, sure, we'd love to come to the big celebration. But the only problem is she only has 3 access passes for them. That's right, only 3 VIPs. So one of them can't go. Well, being the Impractical Jokers, there's only one way to settle this, to do a whole slew of practical jokes, of pranks on people, and whoever refuses the most and loses the most games while going down to Florida to the Paula Abdul concert will not get to go, will be punished, if you will. Will be punished. If you've ever seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. Will be punished and not be allowed to go to the Paula Abdul show. And that's the plot of the movie. But it's, so there is, like I said, there is a plot, which is something you don't see in Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie, is that in that movie, it's just them doing their regular thing. In this movie, there is an incentive for why they are doing the pranks. It's not just them doing their job. There's an incentive to it. So they go and they do a bunch of funny things, and so it's a very entertaining movie in my eyes, because again, I'm a huge Impractical Jokers fan, in case you haven't noticed. So that's the whole point. So it really, and it's like I said, it's a funny movie. They do a lot of funny things. I was laughing all the way through it. I thought it was great. But that's basically the review, is if you've seen the show, you know what the movie's about. And so that leads into pretty much my recommendation. The only way I think you will enjoy Impractical Jokers, the movie, is if you're a fan of the TV show. It's really a movie made for the fans. It's not like Mission Impossible, which is made for a general audience who can enjoy action films at its best and still have those tweaks of the TV show within it. This is a movie that is strictly for you. If you are a fan of Impractical Jokers, you're going to love Impractical Jokers, the movie. Overall, I thought it was really funny. I think it's really interesting. You know, the idea of bringing a variety show like that to the big screen is pretty cool. I did think that the plot was a little weird. I could have done without the whole Paula Abdul thing. I think it was great that she was game to do it. I think she was a great sport, and it was funny. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think there was really any reason for that. But it could have been anything. It's like we have 3 beers left, and whoever loses doesn't get the beer. I mean, you could have done any kind of plot. That's the point. The whole point of the movie is to see them do what they do best, and that's their pranks on people through hidden cameras. So, bottom line is, if you love Impractical Jokers, you're gonna love Impractical Jokers, the movie. I love it. I have it right here. Let's not even play around here, okay? I have it on Blu-ray. That's how I got it. I saw it in theaters. It came out before the pandemic. So I saw it in theaters, and then when it came out on Blu-ray, got it on Blu-ray. I love this movie, and I love these guys. So, I mean, you know, obviously, there's Jokers sitting right here. They're everywhere in this room. So, naturally, I'm a big fan, so I love the film. And if you're a big fan, you're going to love the film. If you're not a fan, and you just want a good laugh, and you're game to watch Impractical Jokers, watch it. You will enjoy it. And watch the show, too, because it's very enjoyable as well. And that's my review of Impractical Jokers, the movie.